What's up, guys? I'm Jamie from Street Trends Metal Art,
And I'm Tony from the Summer Send-Off Car Show.
and this is the first episode of the Local Scene podcast. Different point of view, kind of a different angle than the normal just podcast interview. Different people, different scene. I think we know enough people.
Yeah, I mean, we've been in the scene for 20 years.
Yeah.
We've met some cool people along the way with some cool stories that sometimes we feel like just get buried, and we want to kind of shine the light on those people. Businesses, people with special builds, people that's just been in the scene for a really long time.
Yeah, not the normal people that you see getting interviewed. I guess to start, how did you get into it?
Just random. I got into it with some of the guys that I used to play baseball with, and I met Inner City Lowriders. That was a car club that I was in back in 2003.
I loved Inner City back in the day.
I just hung out with the guys because I just played baseball with them, football, whatever it was, and then it started to grow into cars, and I started to build my own car, and then we wanted to host a car show, and they kind of didn't want to do it. I wanted to do it, so I branched off and did my own thing. And then that was kind of like when I met you, like when I was first starting. What was that, 2005, 2006 time frame?
Yeah, I got into it in probably more like 2000. I mean, I've always liked cars and stuff, but I started, once I got my license, I started kind of going full steam in the car scene, and like all my buddies were into it.
Yeah.
And then, they started Street Trends, my friends at the time, who I kind of just knew here and there. And then that was like my goal in life, to join Street Trends. I thought Inner City was cool, and I thought Street Trends was like way cooler. And then eventually, I ended up going stupid with my Stratus, and then kind of just taking over Street Trends because they all kind of fell out of it.
Yeah.
And that's when like me and Tony ended up the only people that we were around that was going to the shows. Kind of just ended up going together. And obviously I was beating Tony at all these shows.
Here we go. We're episode 1.
What are we
already starting this?
We're in 3 minutes. We asked like 10 minutes. No, already talking shit. So and then it just kind of went from there. And I think we have enough years in this whole thing that we've seen it go from one scene to a whole nother scene. You agree?
Oh, definitely different stages. We had the early 2000s.
That was
the Fast and the Furious, and
the
body kits and Lambo doors and
the Super
all
Street,
that stuff.
Super Street era, pretty much.
Yep.
I think that was the golden age of cars, in my opinion. But I feel like as I got older, my
views changed.
My interest or what I like.
Yeah.
Because I remember being younger and I wouldn't even look at a Mustang at a show or like a Camaro, like a classic car. And now it's what I like more than anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like you kind of grow up and your interest in cars changes. I got a question then. So what were you when you first got into the scene? How are you when you first got in to now? The difference in I was a 16, 17-year-old kid when I got into this. So I see me as being just wanting to go crazy with a car, touch every little odd and end, and go to every single show that I could go to now, like I pick and choose which shows I go to, and I basically more want the car for, not so much for to show and get people's fucking attention, but more just to build my car for me.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yep.
How did you change from when you started to now?
You were pretty good on that one where you were saying, building your car and going to every show. And as you get older, you get a little bit more selective. You buy a house. You have a family now, so you buy a house, or your priorities change.
Yeah,
where you're not
definitely.
20 years old, 17 years old, 18 years old, being able to go every weekend. Now you have to close your pool, or your daughter has dance, or your son has baseball or football.
Or one of your cars breaks down, then your second car breaks down, then your third car breaks down, then your fourth car breaks down, then your lift breaks.
Your lift broke?
Yeah, the lift broke. I went to fix the car yesterday and the lift broke. So
Could have been worse. Could have been under it.
I can't catch a. I wish I was under it at this point. I fucking can't catch a break. I'm like, oh my god. Yes, I think the priorities change. You know, I mean, when I bought my house, I didn't think I was going to do cars anymore at all.
No.
You know. So
you still do it to a certain extent.
Yeah, you buy rep wheels.
Yeah. Like I said, you do it to a certain extent. You know, you're not able to go to every car show anymore. Like you said, your interests change, so you may not hit every import show, but you might go to something along the lines of Foxborough and hang out there for a day on a Thursday randomly, or Cars and Coffee, or whatever.
I feel like I've found my biggest thing was like, you know, when you're younger, you like going and getting the awards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I feel like now I'd much rather go to like a Cars and Coffee. Like the other day, we went to Cars and Coffee for 2 hours, and then we were out. Rather than go to a show and hang out at a show all day, I feel like I'd rather pull in, walk around, and then be out.
Yeah.
Like Bass Pro Shop to me is perfect because you can just go and walk around. You see a lot of stuff, and you're not there all day. You don't have to take the whole day off.
Yeah.
To me, that's what I like. I think more.
What's your expectation for doing the podcast? Like, what are you looking to get out of it? What are you looking forward to?
Well, I think our biggest thing with the podcast was, first we should talk about why we even decided to do this. Because I felt like I started getting into automotive podcasts, and I was watching like and listening to national ones, and then people around here were doing them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all good, but I feel like there was something missing. So you had a lot of people talking to the same people, or you have people that were talking that weren't really in the scene and came across like they were. And some of them, they just weren't putting the content really out there. I feel like we were talking about that stuff, and then we just kind of threw it out there like, yo, we should do one. More as a joke. And then it kind of turned into a real thing. Would you agree with that? Well,
I'd say it started with Detroit. I know you said you wanted to vlog it, and that's where it started. You said you wanted to vlog trip. You wanted to vlog the trip.
Yeah.
And I was just like, well, hey, at the time, me hosting the Summer Send-Off Car Show, I kind of had one foot in the door and one foot out the door. So I was figuring out my exit strategy. And I said, maybe I can't do car shows and host a car show, but maybe I can host a podcast. And I said, oh, you know, maybe this could be the opening of the door. Why don't we vlog the trip to Detroit and see how it goes? And then that's when we kind of snowballed into
that's when
maybe we should do a podcast. And you know, now we're doing it.
And I think Tony knows enough people from his side, and I know enough people from my side that we kind of can combine those and come up with like a whole, basically a broad, much more broader span of guests, in my opinion. You're not getting the same people back and forth.
I'm personally looking forward to, like Jamie just said, we know a lot of people. He knows some people that I don't know. So it's able to open a door for me to meet some of the people that he knows, and vice versa. I might know some people that he might not know their full story. He sees them at a car show and just says, hey, what's up, man? And then they just walk away, not knowing that guy, you know, built that car from scratch by hand, or he did this, or he has a shop where he can do that. You know, so that's kind of what I'm excited for.
I think there's a lot of people out there locally that are doing like big stuff, and you don't realize who they are.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yep. You know, like you said, you walk right by them, you go to a Cars and Coffee, hey, what's up, man? And you just keep walking.
And then you go, oh yeah, that was the person that, you know, threw on that big show or something like that. Or, yeah. So I think that it'd be good to
shine the light on people, certain people.
Yeah. Just people who I think deserve it, and just different, like I said, different people. What do you hope that comes from this, really?
Like I said, meeting different people, opening different doors. I know that we discussed a list of people. We agreed on some people. I had some people on my end, and you had some people on your end that I don't know, that I'm looking forward to opening the door and saying like, oh, that's cool. I didn't know that about this person, or I didn't know that person. I saw their car, but now I can put a name with a face and the car. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think for me, I've always wanted to get more into like the media side, which I've been slacking so bad. I think that the Detroit like documentary was stepping into it. So I'd like to broaden that with the media side. And I think also if you decide to keep doing the car show, if these fucking people start complaining, I think it would change the whole dynamic of the show big time with, having these people involved.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure.
We have like 7 or 8 people in mind that I think, right? Like that
I'd probably say,
really
I'd say we have, 7 or 8 that have really good stories that we can shine the light on, that, like I said, you normally see, you just walk right by. But once they tell you their story, you might see them in person and go, hey man, I didn't know.
Yeah, you don't realize how much that person
you did X, Y, Z. I didn't know that you went from here to X, Y, Z in your car.
A lot of the people that we have in mind too are pretty quiet.
They're older.
Yeah.
They're older.
Yeah. Yeah. Different kind of mentality. They're not doing it for the gram. Don't do it for the gram. This episode right here is just kind of like to light the fire. It's not, we didn't come in with a script. We just kind of,
winging it.
Yeah. It was kind of like a last minute thing. Like,
hey, I have the night off. Do you have the night off? Yeah, let's just do it real quick. All right.
Yeah. Well, we're in the middle of planning this fucking cool ass party this weekend.
That should be fun.
So this weekend we're having a bunch of people that have birthdays in September. So we're having like a birthday garage party, barbecue kind of deal. What do you think about that?
I think that should be cool. If everybody shows up with their cars, I think that should be cool.
But we're trying to do stuff differently than normal people. I think more of the car scene, not car scene people, but like the people in the car scene locally, and trying to just make it more like more of a hangout.
Personal.
Yeah.
Personal.
It's not like you don't have to hang out just because you're going to a show. This is a thing that it's like, hey, come to my house. We're all gonna hang out. Take the weekend off, have some drinks, have some food. I think it'll be a fun time. It's a good time to just shoot the shit with everybody and hang out.
And it's one of those things, like I said, where you see somebody at a show and you just say, hey, what's up, man? And you walk right by and you just continue on with your time. Where now they're in your house and you can say, hey, what's up, man? Oh, hey, I saw your Corvette at the car show. I didn't even get to talk to you, man. Hey, walk me around your showroom and show me the metal. I've always seen it online. Well, I've never seen it in person.
The whole thing kind of sprung from you were doing a summer send-out cookout, right? Which was basically a meeting.
Yeah.
Before the show.
Yeah.
And then we always did that. And then when I ended up getting this house, I was like, we should just do it a pool party. So it turned into the pool party. And then even just at the pool party, like inviting, I think that's where, so I always knew who George was with the Monte Carlo. And when he came by here, me and him were talking for a while. I ended up buying a car off him.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, real cool with George.
He's coming around Saturday.
Yeah, he's bringing that big bottle of Ciroc.
And the Monty, the 2-time champ.
Yeah.
But that's basically what we're trying to do. Where like I said, you see these people at car shows, you see them, and you just walk right by. Hey, what's up, man? What's going on? Hey, yeah, see you later, man. And you just keep going. Where here, it's a little bit more personal, and you can stop them and say, hey, man, I saw your car at the car show, but I didn't get to fully see your car at the car show. Walk me through your car, show me what you got. Or, like I said, you own the Street Trends Metal Art business. Hey, man, I always like your stuff online. Walk me in your showroom and show me. And people can hold pieces and, hey, they might want to place an order, or they see what you have, what you're working on.
Yeah.
Same thing. People that may not know me personally might come here and go, hey, man, I've always seen you post online, or I've seen you on the High and By, but I've never got to fully talk to you.
Or they probably were like, oh, Tony always looks miserable.
Oh, my God. Here we go.
He's actually not that bad. You know what I mean? Because if you see Tony...
I'm smiling. See, I'm smiling right now.
He looks miserable.
I'm approachable.
I feel like, I could be wrong. I feel like back in the day, it was more people actually talked. And I feel like now it's not as much, but I could be wrong. I guess it all depends on how you look at it. You're different. You got everybody coming up to you because you're Mr. Popular when you go walking around these places because you run the Summer Send-Out car show.
From what I see, everybody does get along. I do see that. Everybody does talk. I see the social media. Everyone, for me, that's what I see. But I don't I want to have my little intimate circle where I can have my certain friends that I'm friends in the scene with, and have them at something like we're doing on Saturday, or going to their shop, showcasing this. Like I'm a little bit different because I do see the camaraderie to an extent. Everybody does get along to a certain extent, but again, like you said, I have to be into the scene, and I have to be with what's going on and who's getting along and who's talking and who's going where. I have to kind of look and see it, look and see that stuff.
Back in the day, it was more people like walked up and was like, "Oh, hey, man, what's up with your car?" Or walk around the car.
Yeah, yeah.
Where now I feel like people see the car on Instagram, so they don't bother. If that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
I think people look at the cars at the car show because it's their competition. I've caught people do that. Like you see the car online, but I've seen pictures at other car shows, or I've glanced over and seen people, and they'll like head in the wheel well or inside going, "Oh, this is the same year as my car." Or I've seen that, but to actually have someone walk up and be like, "Hey, man, I saw your car online. Walk me through your car. Show me XYZ." I haven't seen that, but I have seen people looking in other people's cars. "Hey, man, have you done anything different?" Or whatever. I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Personally, I have not.
I just felt like it's more like it used to be like, "Hey, is this your car? Oh, what are you doing this? What are you doing that? What are you doing?" And there was like, I just felt like there was more. I mean, like I said, back in the day when Street Trends and Inner City first started like coming around.
You didn't tell me anything in your car.
But because you complained all the fucking time.
I didn't want.
And if I did, you copied it.
I didn't want to see what was in your car.
Gucci interior. I
didn't want to see what was in your car.
Tony went as far as putting Gucci backwards.
Oh, here we go.
He got backwards Gucci.
We talk about the crown.
What crown?
The crown that you put.
That wasn't my car.
Oh my god.
That wasn't my car. That was my ex-girlfriend's car. That wasn't my car. Tony, I put TVs. Tony did TVs. I did air ride. Tony did air ride.
Don't listen to anything he's saying. He's lying. Don't listen to anything he's saying. I had a clean car. As much as you want to shit on it, I had a clean car. I don't know what you had going on, but I had a clean car. I had a lot of work in there.
His car was clean and mine was fucked up and I was still in it.
Oh, here we go.
So, I didn't have the pirates.
The judging was fucked up back then.
The only difference is we couldn't go online and complain about it.
Yeah.
The
forums. We can go on with MySpace.
All right, so then would you ever have a funny story like that with the forums? I had a really good one.
Me? Yeah. No, I was never. I mean, anybody that knows me knows that I'm horrible at social media. So,
dude, I loved the forums.
That was like day one.
They had. Did you ever go on Boston Motorsports?
No.
It was like BostonMotorsports.com, and I'll never forget this because I had my Stratus, and I remember going in there, and some dude was talking all kinds of shit about my Stratus, and then I took my girlfriend at the time's car to T3 Motorsports in Hyde Park to have it get lowered. And somehow we were talking on there, and the kid behind the counter was talking about the Boston Motorsports, and I was like, "Oh, I'm on there." And I was like, "Man, a lot of people talk shit." And they were like, "Yeah." And then he was like, "Bro, people have stupid cars on there." He goes, "This is one kid that he has a fucking Dodge Stratus, like the dumbest fucking car I've ever seen." And I remember being like, "Yeah, that's my fucking car." And the kid was just like, "Oh." I remember that. That was like before Instagram and Facebook, though. So the plan with the episodes is like we'd like to do one twice a month. We'll try to drop an episode. And we'd like to do something different where we drop an episode and then maybe showcase somebody with a car, which is what I would like to do. I think that'd be kind of cool, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're not getting just interviews, and you're getting a little bit of interviews, and you're getting a little bit of actual car footage. You know what I mean? I think it's good to mix that up, which is just something different that somebody, we haven't seen too. That's, I think, the biggest thing along with the car show, along with my metal lot, is doing something different than what people normally do.
Yeah.
Because.
Well, I know I've told a couple people the idea of what we have going on.
Yeah.
And they said that they have seen a couple people do it, but not around here. Yeah. I mean, obviously you have to do something crazy. We're not reinventing the wheel. You're going to have to do something that someone else has already done. Just put your own spin on it.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. We'll end up putting like our own spin on it, and then somebody will probably do it in September right after us. So who knows, I'm just saying, you never know what will happen with these episodes.
Oh, you're doing a podcast? I was thinking about doing a podcast.
Oh yeah. We'll have to keep it secret where we order lunch from. What does your wife think about this? What's Jen thinking?
Just something else to add to the plate. Trying to figure out exactly time. Time is obviously the biggest thing once you have, your regular work, you have side work, you have kids activities, you have cars, you have car shows, house stuff. Like just figuring out that, hey, I need 3 or 4 hours to go to XYZ, go do this interview, do this podcast episode, come back home, with you, same thing. Hey,
Yeah.
Jess, I need to go do this.
Well, I told Jess about it. She thought it was a good idea. And she just said, when are you going to have the time?
That's the biggest thing between the two of us.
Working overnights, working days, running back and forth between kids, properties, family,
Yep.
and
that's why
and edit it.
That's why I think every two.
Yeah,
just to give us a little bit, just to give us a little bit more room.
Yeah, and then who knows? We might actually enjoy it more. We might have more content than we thought we would have. I mean, I'd like to stop filming a lot more. Like even like the other day we went to Cars and Coffee. It would have been a cool thing to like grab a little bit of footage of that for something like this and then use it.
Yeah.
So I think we need to be a little bit more aware of that stuff. But I think we have a lot of stuff that we can bring to the table.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited to interview some of these people and get their stories. And I feel like people have asked us, "Hey man, you still doing that? When are we doing that?"
Yeah, we've mentioned it to a couple of people, and they're pretty interested.
The response back, which is what we were looking for.
Maybe we'll put a sign here. That'd be kind of cool. We're gonna nice signs, but our buddy Mike will miss that sign.
Oh, geez. First episode, what are we in? We got a Mike joke.
Yep.
Mike's gonna watch this and be like, I didn't even make it out of the first episode without getting shit on. We love you, Mike. We do. We really do. But that will never get old.
Yeah, we're gonna have Mike do this too, but we would never get a word in. Nah, I'm just kidding. Mike's the best.
Bring on the guest. That's what I'm excited for. Bring on the guest.
Yeah. Well, if you guys got an idea, hit us up, and we'll probably ignore it.
I'll probably ignore it because I'm bad at social media.
Tony don't answer his messages. But we'll figure something out. We'll get some more people out there. If you got a car that you think would be cool, we know enough people
that has a story. That has a story.
Yeah, a cool story, like something different. Because I would also like to do little segments, basically.
Yeah.
Kind of break it up, so that was like the biggest thing with doing this was that I had ideas, he had ideas, and nobody was doing things like that. So it's almost like a TV show, like an interview TV show, I guess, is what I would. It's a podcast, but that's how I'm thinking of it, as like a little TV show. Oh, we're gonna go to I want to do Syracuse this year. Syracuse Nationals is a big. Fucking serious? What kind of studio is this? Shut up! Oh, Tony must have told a joke. There's crickets over
there.
Yeah. Syracuse Nationals, that's a big ass show. I plan on doing that, and I like to do another film with that. This time Tony will take pictures of the signs, not Mike.
Dude, I'm trying. I was looking it up the other day. One show that I've had my eye on for a while is Lone Star Throwdown in Texas.
Yeah,
that's at the end of February, and I've been kind of putting out some feels.
So shows coming up. Tony's on a SEMA.
Actually, I'll be at SEMA. Yep, I'll be at SEMA. I'll try to vlog.
Must be nice, man. Must be nice.
I'll be there with a couple of the guys.
Must be nice. It's not cheap. It's not cheap.
A couple of the guys and girls will be walking around. Nice. I'll try to take some pictures and vlog what I can.
I'll be here working.
Yeah, right.
I don't have that SEMA kind of money.
Yeah, right.
So must be nice.
We're in a 15,000 square foot garage. 16 cars. We got lifts. You heard him say we got lifts in here. We got the Lincoln.
Not one fucking car runs.
We got metal art back here. We got thousands of dollars in artwork back here. It's a museum in here.
Yeah.
You should have seen the security to get in here. It was pretty tight to get in here. Signed waivers, NDNAs. Shit's wild. I can't tell you where it is, though.
Yep. It's on the Sharon line. That's why I just help you. I live on the Sharon line. Yeah, so we got a bunch of shows coming up this year, some big ones. So it should be fun. These will be on YouTube. We'll try to drop them on YouTube, and then he has social media. I got social media. You got Summer Sendoff, Car Show, and Street Trends Metal Art. Between the two of us, we can get it out there.
I'm excited. Let's do this.
Keep an eye out, like and share.
All right, for sure. Later, guys.
Stay tuned.